Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Bringing Out the Dead, released in 1999 and is directed by Martin Scorsese, who's also behind such timeless classics like Raging Bull, The King of Comedy, Goodfellas, Casino, The Departed, and Taxi Driver, which I would argue this movie is the exact same as Taxi Driver, just in an ambulance. And this film is starring Nicolas Cage, Patricia Arquette, John Goodman, Ving Rhames, and Tom Sizemore. And the reason why we're talking about Bringing Out the Dead today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a big contributor and supporter of this channel, Jacob Shipley. Thank you very much for the recommendation and your support with me just watching any movie that comes my way, all from you subscribers out there. Thank you very much. I'm going to be honest, wasn't a big fan of this movie, or at least it wasn't clicking for me, but I know in your message that you sent over with your recommendation that you said that this movie was very important to you growing up, so I'm actually very interested to hear how so, like what connection you have with this movie. So if you're watching this review, please comment below, and I'm definitely interested in your story behind this movie. So here's my story, I guess, behind my first time viewing of this movie. But if anyone else out there also wants to be like Jacob and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with Jacob here. Nicolas Cage plays Frank Pierce, who is a depressed, anxiety-ridden, and extremely sleep-deprived paramedic who hasn't saved a life in months after he failed to resuscitate a homeless teenager. Well, this night he and his partner get a call to come and help an old-timer who keeps going in and out of death and being alive. And over the next 48 hours, as he keeps checking on him at the hospital, he becomes infatuated with his daughter Mary and tries to find comfort in her arms. So the movie takes place over a 48-hour period, and it all starts from this code that the paramedics get, and they arrive at this apartment, and this old man is just... he's dead, or at least he seems like he's dead. John Goodman is there, and they're just very nonchalant about this. You can tell, like, they've been at this job for way too long, and they have excessive burnout, which is an actual thing that a lot of people experience in their jobs, and I never really knew it was a thing up until a couple of years ago. And you're thinking right now, the viewer out there is thinking that I'm going to go into, like, a promo code for BetterHelp. I'm not going to do that. But if BetterHelp would love to sponsor this video, or any other sponsors, if you want to throw money my way, BetterHelp, please hit me up. But they think the dude is dead, but Nicolas Cage manages to find a very faint pulse. They take him to the hospital, and it just continues on from there, of them going to other codes and other situations that don't necessarily need paramedics, but hey, they're there. And this character of Frank is very, very depressed, and he wants a win. When you're a doctor and you see so much death and disease and heartache all around you, you just want that win every once in a while. And I know that because I watched all 9 seasons of Scrubs in my early 20s. And I like the aesthetic of this movie. Martin Scorsese really knows how to get into the dirt, into the muck, and into the grime of New York City at the late 80s, early 90s, back when the city was literally a shithole. He just loves and is completely able to just put that grime on screen. So I love the aesthetic of just this city that is just so dirty and so trashy, and there's just problems behind every corner. However, for me, again, this is my first time viewing this film. I don't have nostalgia with it. I don't have a long connection with it. It just felt to me that he was recycling a whole bunch of unshown clips from his shooting of Taxi Driver. And really that's what this film felt like. It felt like Taxi Driver, just this guy who wasn't really fitting into society or understanding how society works or how people work and how you communicate with them, how you develop relationships with them. But he drives around town and he gets this hero complex in his mind. The same thing basically happens with Frank in this film. It's just that he's a paramedic and he drives around in an ambulance. ambulance. And yes, I'm purposefully saying ambulance incorrectly. I just love when people say ambulance. If you're a WWE fan and you go back to the ambulance matches where JR would call the thing, JR would be like, "It's an ambulance match! Oh, it's a slobber knocker!" But that's basically the underlying feeling that I had of this film. I feel like this is just recycled stuff from Martin Scorsese. I want to see him do something new, something different, take on a different story, take on different actors. Granted, this was 1999, he's already done that, but just looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Scorsese film, because it's all the same thing that he did throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I know, how dare I say anything negative about the great Martin Scorsese. He's done incredible work. He's done amazing films, but everyone has a stinker every now and then. Not everything that Shakespeare wrote was fantastic. Not every film that Martin Scorsese directs is wonderful. I mean, hell, have you seen Killers of the Flower Moon? That was a 3-hour torture device. And this was 90s Nicolas Cage, where he was definitely taking himself way too seriously, and other directors out there thought, hey, let's put him in these serious roles where we could be Oscar baity, and yeah, he's a terrific actor, people. I mean, hell, this was after Vampire's Kiss, so maybe we were already on the downward trajectory here. But we do get our standard Nicolas Cage freak out. It's in the 3rd act, and you can tell he's been up for way too long, and he's looking over at his fellow driver, and he's just like, come on, man, let's go, let's find something, let's drive! So anytime I get to experience a Nicolas Cage freak out, I'm 100% all in. See, that part really reeled me in here. I loved it. But all this other stuff about this guy being infatuated with this girl who's in this vulnerable situation at the moment, it just felt gross. It felt really gross to me, and I didn't like it. In the end, I don't think that this film is definitely one of Martin Scorsese's best. I mean, hell, I didn't even realize this film existed until it was recommended to me, so it's definitely not in the limelight, it's not in the zeitgeist of pop culture when it comes to Scorsese films. I think it has some good things. Again, the Nicolas Cage freakouts, I'm always a fan of. The overall aesthetic of the film is really great if you're really into the dirt and the griminess of New York City. But in terms of this story and in terms of this character, you know, just get therapy, man. You gotta work through your burnout, bruh. I'm gonna give Bringing Out the Dead 2.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I found that if you have a goal, that you might not reach it. But if you don't have one, then you are never disappointed. And I gotta tell you, it feels phenomenal.
So guys, if you've seen Bringing Out the Dead, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.